The last year and a half or 2 years has been tumultuous when it comes to Dwight Howard and Amy Luchiani. We already know Dwight Howard's story. He's a, NBA champion. He'll definitely go down as a Hall of Famer in basketball. But we all know what happened with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard got caught clapping dudes' cheeks. Okay? And that was kind of the stain on his career, according to many people. Dwight Howard, many people always thought that, he was kind of what you would call suspect. And he denied being suspect, but eventually it was just out there. And, Dwight Howard was clapping dudes' cheeks, or they was clapping his cheeks. And he was doing it with dudes coming out in fairy costumes and stuff. And it was just crazy. He was into a whole bunch of stuff. Again, he's from Atlanta. So then what ended up happening is Dwight Howard now has this new label of being a bisexual or homosexual black man. And it's hard when, you're like a 10 or 11 time NBA All-Star and you were once considered to be one of the marquee players in the NBA. And now we find out that you also like men. And so once he started to deal with Amy Luchiani, who I believe is from Detroit, at first she was trying to really be supportive. All right. But what I honestly believe is that because of all of that male on male clapping that was going on in all of these cheeks going whatever way it was going. I don't even want to talk about it, but it was going in different ways. She filed for divorce. She was with him and then she filed for divorce and then she tried to come for everything that he had. And I was like, damn, man, he tried to change his life around, trying to go back to women. He out of dudes' cheeks now. And his wife, Amy Luchiani, she's under immense pressure because everybody in the black community is talking about how the fact that this dude is married him. Now the lady comes out, she cancels her divorce, and she's going to give a testimony about why she decided to stay with Dwight Howard.
I met the love of my life and I almost divorced his in 6 months, being real stupid and silly. Actually, we both filed for divorce. Let's talk about the struggles of being a new young wife. First thing I can tell you as a new wife, I know this is gonna be a hard practice, but shut your mouth, shut up. Now I know some of y'all gonna say, oh, you gotta shut up because you married. What is he silencing you? No, sis, I'm not saying shut up. I'm saying pick your battles and sometimes pick them quietly. Understand when you became one with your husband, that means you became one. Y'all are one. You have to literally die to your old self. You don't want to do that yet. What does die to my old self mean? Because I'm very much still alive. Simply means adjustments. You got to make a lot of adjustments. Again, heavy on your one now. Know your spicy attitude isn't passion. It's a nasty attitude. That has to die for your husband. Confrontational spirits hidden by passion. You're not passionate, sis. You just got an attitude problem. Lose it. Quick gem. Successful top tier men, they just want peace. They don't want anything else. You can't do anything else for them besides bring them peace. Mistake I made, me and my husband going through issues, telling my friends about it. Don't do it. Dying to yourself is hard, okay? You spent your whole life talking, probably talking too much, getting the last word, being overly opinionated, being emotionally unstable. Some people settle for that, but this person married you, they're not going for it. Passive aggressive attitudes. Most black men, when you do that, it reminds them of somewhat what they grew up with their mom, their siblings. They married you. They don't want to feel with the trauma from childhood. And I'm about to say something that's probably gonna hurt y'all feelings. Black successful men do marry black women. But my girls, let's be for real. Let's talk about it. I already know, sis, life was not easy for us. And along the way, we formed a little neck roll that we can't get rid of. Because life was hard doesn't give you the right to be rude, confrontational, nasty attitude, uncooperative, any of those things. You're married now, sis, so you're joining with one. It should be a peaceful harmony, right? Which means you have to die to yourself with all the ugly things that do not create peace. Let's talk about the maybe I rule. If there's conflict going on in your marriage, in your home, silently to yourself, not out loud to your husband, ask yourself, maybe I am understanding this wrong. Maybe I am processing this wrong. Maybe I am being overly emotional. Maybe I am not listening. If you silently ask yourself the maybe I's and then go in a corner and process them before you respond, you will see that maybe I can do something to meet him more in the middle versus pushing the confrontation. I did not say you cannot have an opinion. I never said that. I said, stop process your emotions, okay? You married now. You basically just said, I love you for the rest of your life, my life, no matter what we go through. Me not really understanding the real concept of marriage, I was thinking like, oh, Dwight, you're doing this. I don't like this. I'm going to flee. I'm going to run. Listen, y'all, you ain't ready for marriage if that's the way you think it.
It was easy to speculate about why it was the male on male clapping. But ultimately, I want to give her some credit because relationships live and die on respect, okay? And the way that she's talking, to me, it wouldn't have mattered if Dwight Howard was heterosexual or bisexual or anything like that. That would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But the reality is, here you have a woman from the black community that's never lived with a man, or maybe she has, but she's married. And the one thing about relationships is you got to sacrifice for relationships to grow. She makes a very interesting point, is that some of me must die so that we can live. And I'm gonna just be honest. I'm now 44 and I'm starting to see that more clearer now, which is why I could have never been married at 24, 25. I mean, I would have been able to, let's say, vie for a woman. I would have always been an interesting or a good father, I think. But, when you're married, you just can't do whatever you want to do. Same thing with you as a business owner. When you're a business owner, especially when your business is kind of just starting out there, you can't just do whatever you feel like doing. You just can't. Unfortunately, you cannot do what you want to do. It is literally impossible, right? And some of the things as a man that you would say to women in your 20s and 30s, like, you got to pick your battles. And she's absolutely right. Like, why am I talking to this person like that? Or is it important for me to talk about that? Or that person is maybe having a bad day. Or that person is maybe whatever, right? But every little thing don't need to be nitpicked. And I'm going to tell you why I know this, because I want to draw it back to living overseas. In Uganda, any third world country, you're going to pick your battles every day. Some things are just not worth it. Let me give you an example. You come to Uganda, you go to the market. Some people are arguing all day, going back and forth, negotiating over $1, 30, 40 minutes. For an American, that's the dumbest thing you can do. Pay the $1, give me my damn hour back, and then I'll take my ass home and make more money off that damn hour, right? Okay, we can understand it in those terms that it's a waste of time. And this is a situation with relationships, understanding the person. And for her as a woman to say that, like she had to change so she can be with somebody, and I'm not gonna go through the comments, but look at so many women in the comments and the negativity. Well, I guess I'm gonna just stay single then. Well, that can't be me. So wait a minute. You want somebody to change for you. And this is the problem that I see with a lot of black relationships, especially, I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to women. You want somebody cater to you and what you need, okay? You have your list of demands. Some women got more demands. Listen, ain't enough paper to cover them damn demands. You would cover from Ethiopia to California with some of them demands, okay? And you expect a man to change his life. Imagine, you got a man that's single, he make a lot of money, and you even see this with someone that got kids. Just go to Kendra G's show. You will see a lot of these women. I don't want to be rude, but let's just call it for what it is. Some of these women are probably not going to be some of the best looking you ever seen in your life. 4 or 5 kids from 4 different men. And then these women gonna come in and have the unmitigated gall to tell you that, you know what, you need to come into this relationship and you need to not only take care of me, but these kids that ain't yours. Well, what are you gonna do for the man? What do you mean? Nothing? Like, well, you ask them, what do you bring to the table? I am the table. That's their response. You damn right. You got a table full of kids. That's what you got. And you're just insensitive to what somebody else wants. And that is the issue, with all businesses, all collaborations. I was talking loud at dinner last night. There's a guy I know, I was talking about this particular guy. He's in the industry. And this particular guy, in order to do business with him, you can never win, okay? Like, he got to get paid. It's all about him. And he don't care who gets hurt in the process. As long as he get his way, it's fine. And many folks are like that. The problem with that is it's not sustainable. And you are not going to be able to get more because people who have more than you won't deal with you for nothing. I think about this. A lot of these people that are poor, they always want a rich man, a good-looking woman, something like that, right? Men want a fine woman, a woman want a rich man. So if your way of doing things right now doesn't get you that access, what do you have to do? You have to change, okay? And sometimes your looks can get you in, but it won't keep you. And what she's talking about are the things that she learned that she had to do to stay in a relationship. And all of us as people, as humans, must learn these things to stay in relationships. Like, men have to try. If you have a wife, girlfriend, your effort isn't keeping that person happy. You have a business. You got a twofold problem now. Threefold problem. You must learn to keep vendors happy, people you pay for supplies. You must also learn to keep the B2B collaborations happy, okay? The people that are in your industry, in your niche, are in an adjacent niche. 3, employees. Without your employees being happy, you don't got a business. And 4, customers got to be happy. Then you got to find out to come home how to keep your kids happy, how to keep your wife happy. A human's real dilemma is keeping everybody happy. A successful person, as many as you can, okay? So that people want to deal with you. Broke people don't keep nobody happy but themselves. Lonely, miserable people don't keep nobody happy with themselves. And they never get long-term romantic opportunities. They don't get business opportunities. And the moment that something don't go their way, they're ready to quit. Walk out the door because they want to preserve their happiness or preserve their peace, like most women in America want to do, or most selfish people. And the life don't work that way. Then you turn around, you're 50 years old, nobody want to deal with you. Somebody got to gain something from being with you. People just keep me dealing with your ass, and then all it is that you benefiting. It's okay if you benefit sometime, like half the time, but yeah, you got to give something too. You must be concerned about others. And this is a woman who gets it, but so many women out there, look, he gonna come into my life, he gonna be like this. What do you got to do? I don't want to do nothing. You damn right you gonna be doing nothing over there. Then you call these men weak because they don't want to put up with that. Listen, the man want to be respected. He don't want to be talked to like that. You want that man to go out there and earn for you every day. Give him the things that he wants. He don't want you to go outside at a certain time. Oh, no, you can't be talking about that. Fine. You don't need to be married to him then. Go back out there with Pookie and them, who was clapping for nothing and you wasn't getting your rent paid. No, but you got to give to get. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jason, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all you do. Scratch the bell. We're out.